Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the whole flock of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Got to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua. The Most High, the Heavenly Father. His Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah, not Abba, not Yahuwah, not Hashem, not Yahweh, Haveh, Vaveh. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua, not Yahusha, not Jesus Christos. It's Yahweh Shah. So got to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rikah Quadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder, bishop, and elders of great millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the occupants pushing this truth and believing this truth with the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the whole elect. Believing this truth and pushing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the whole elect. Shalom to the Akwas who are listening learning. If you sister are listening learning. I'm Isaiah from GMS Atlanta, Camp Prophet Doom, combination of
دشمن ما
faith and
اون
edification.
دشمنی که در مقابل ما قرار داره یعنی رژیم صهیونی
And I'm title this
دشمن
lesson.
ما اون دشمنی که در مقابل ما قرار داره یعنی رژیم صهیونی منفورترین رژیم دنیاست، منفورترین حکومت دنیاست.
You see, he say Israel is despised. The government, the most despised government in the world. And he's talking about the Edomites, man. I've been going into that Psalm 73 and 20. When the Lord said, it reads, when he awakens, he shall despise their image. Well, the Lord is despising the so-called white man's image. The most despised government in the world. See it? Let's run it back. The so-called white man. Here's Iran talking to Esau Edom, the so-called white man.
دشمن ما
The elites that
اون
control all
دشمنی
of
که
this.
در مقابل ما
But he's
قرار
talking to
داره
America
یعنی رژیم
and Israel.
صهیونی منفورترین رژیم دنیاست، منفورترین حکومت دنیاست. ملت ها هم از حکومت صهیونی دشمن ما اون دشمنی که در مقابل ما قرار داره یعنی رژیم صهیونی منفورترین رژیم دنیاست، منفورترین حکومت دنیاست. ملت ها هم از حکومت صهیونی منزجرند، از اون متنفرند. دولت ها هم حتی اونو محکوم میکنن. دولت ها هم این حکومت صهیونی رو محکوم میکنن. یعنی شما ببینید رؤسای دولت های غربی که همیشه حامی رژیم صهیونی بودن امروز اونها رو محکوم میکنن. البته محکومیت زبانی است، این کمه. محکومیت زبانی فایده ای نداره. جنایتی که امروز رؤسای حکومت صهیونی دارن انجام میدن به گمان من در تاریخ بی سابقه است. کودکان رو با گرسنگی و تشنگی بکشن، کودکان رو با تشنگی و گرسنگی به قتل برسون، کودکانی که برای گرفتن غذا به جای آمدن اینا رو به رگبار ببندن. این در دنیا تا اونجایی بنده اطلاع دارم از تاریخ چیز بی سابقه است. این ملت ها رو منزجر کرده. باید در مقابل این ایستادگی هم به زبان نیست که دولت ها بگن که ما مخالفیم، محکوم میکنیم. حتی دولت فرانسه، دولت انگلیس و دیگران هم محکوم کردن. این فایده ای نداره. بایستی راه کمک رسوندن به رژیم صهیونیستی بسته بشه، راه کمک به اونها بسته بشه. این کاری که امروز مردم شجاع یمن انجام میدن کار درست اونه. در مقابل جنایتی که سران رژیم صهیونی انجام میدن هیچ راهی وجود ندارد جز اینکه راههای کمک به اونها به کلی از همه طرف مسدود بشه. ما البته آمادگی کامل برای هر کاری که برای جمهوری اسلامی ممکن باشه، هر کاری که امکان داشته باشه آمادگی اون رو داریم و امیدواریم انشالله خدای متعال به حرکت ملت ایران و حرکت حق خواهان عالم برکت بده و ریشه این سرطان عمیق مهلک رو از این مهلکه بکنه.
See, here's Iran talking big, man. See, this is that taunting proverb against America, Babylon the Great that the scripture talks about. They shall take
Iran's
up a
Supreme
taunting
Leader
proverb
Ayatollah Ali Khamenei says
against his
Tehran's
family,
standoff
man.
with Washington is
Edomites.
unsolvable and vowed it will never bow to U.S. pressure. His comments follow a suspension of nuclear talks after U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iranian nuclear sites during June's 12-day war. While Iran and European powers agreed to resume discussions, France, Britain, and Germany warned they could trigger UN sanctions if Tehran refuses. Western nations accuse Iran of seeking nuclear weapons, a claim Tehran denies, insisting its program is for peaceful energy.
This issue, negotiation with America, is unsolvable. He, the President of the U.S., wants Iran to obey America's orders. The Iranian nation is deeply offended by such a great insult and will stand up, with all its strength, to those who hold such misguided expectations. Those who say don't chant slogans against America, they can get angry and become hostile towards you. These people are superficial. Those analysts who ask, why aren't you directly negotiating with America and why aren't you solving your problems? In my opinion, are superficial. That is not the essence of the issue. They were so convinced that this attack would shake the foundation of the Islamic Republic in the country. They were so convinced that it would turn the people against the Islamic Republic. They were so sure that one day after the attack began, they sat down to discuss who would govern Iran after the Islamic Republic and how. They even appointed a king. Today, our enemy, this enemy standing in front of us, the Zionist regime, the most hated regime in the world. The paths the Zionist regime is getting help through must be blocked. The paths where they get help must be blocked. What the brave people of Yemen are doing today is the right thing to do.
So, the reason I'm titling it is Stout is more than his fellows is this, where is it? Right here. Now, this is from yesterday, I think, 8/25/2025. Trump says he could rename Department of Defense to Department of War soon. President Trump indicated on Monday that he could move soon to rename the Department of Defense as the Department of War. And it makes sense. It reads, whoever this guy named, Pete, what's this? Hegseth has been incredible with the, as I call it, the Department of War. You know, we call it the Department of Defense, but between us, I think we're going to change the name. Trump said during a meeting with South Korea president, he wants to know the truth. You want to know the truth. I think we're going to have some information on that maybe soon, he added. Trump argued it was called the Department of War during U.S. victories in World War I and World War II. This is why I'm titling it, America's Stout is more than their fellows. It's a Trump argued it was called the Department of War during the U.S. victories in World War I and World War II. Defense is a part of that, Trump said. But I have a feeling we're going to be changing. Everybody likes that. We had an unbelievable history of victory when it was Department of War. The Department of War was established by George Washington in 1789. It existed until 1947 when it was reorganized by then President Harry Truman. It was renamed the Department of Defense in 1949. Trump has previously referred to Hegseth as Secretary of War, the president instead of Secretary of Defense. The president has also touted that military recruitment numbers are up during his second term so far, and this is a lie. Ain't no recruitment. Ain't no war military recruitment is up. This nigga is lying, man. But the Joel 13:4, they are forges of lies. The Trump, it reads, the president also has touted that military recruitment numbers are up during his second term so far. Despite the floated name change, Trump has emphasized his efforts to broker ceasefires and truces in global conflicts, pointing to successes in fights between India and Pakistan and Armenia and Azerbaijan, among others. He has also sought to broker a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine, as many of his supporters have called for him to be rewarded with a Nobel Peace Prize. Speaker Mike Johnson was the most recent office holder to make this discussion. So it's through Johnson was lauded Trump's anti-crime crackdown in Washington, D.C. So, this devil, America, because he said, the point I want to point out, he said here, Trump argued it was called the Department of War during U.S. victories in World War I and World War II. Defense is a part of that, Trump said, but I have a feeling we're going to be changing everything. We're going to be changing. Everybody likes that. We had an unbelievable history of victory when it was Department of War. So that's the point I want to make. This man is boasting in America's victories. So when they tell you in Daniel 7 that his look is more stout than his fellows, when you go to, let's go here, this is World War I. So World War I was fought between the Allied powers, including France, the British Empire, Russian, Italy, Japan, and the United States. And the Central Powers, which consisted mainly of Germany, Australia, Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire. So, the conflict lasted from 1914 to 1918 and involved 30 nations, ultimately ending with the defeat of the Central Powers and unprecedented levels of destruction and casualties. So, here it is, Babylon the Great is boasting it's boasting more than his fellows. So this is World War II. It was fought between two major military alliances: the Axis powers, primary Nazi Germany, Imperial Japan, and the Kingdom of Italy, and the Allied powers, which included Great Britain, the United States, the Soviet Union, and China. The war, which began in 1939, involved nearly every country in the world and was the largest and bloodiest conflict in history. So here it is, a third one is coming. So here's under the leadership of Adolf Hitler, Germany's invasion of Poland in 1939 marked the beginning of the war in Europe. Japan launched a surprise attack on the American naval base at Pearl Harbor in 1941, which drew the United States into the war. So this devil, this is Daniel 7:19. It reads, "Then would I know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceedingly dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass, which devoured, break in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet." Verse 20, it reads, "And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of the horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things." And his mouth that spake very great things. It's talking about America, Babylon the Great. That's in Revelation 13. Where the Lord said he gave him a mouth. Matter of fact, let me read it. To speak great things. Great things. It's Revelation 13:5, it reads, "And there was given unto him," matter of fact, let's read 1. "Now I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, That's talking about the beginning rulership of the so-called white man, which is Alexander the Greek. And his feet was the feet of a bear. Because the end of this Edomite rulership, this 7-head, 10-horn beast, the end of this rulership is going to be through Russia. And the beast, which I saw, was like unto a leopard, and his feet was the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And this is why America, the revived Roman Empire, is just like the Roman Empire, the ancient Roman Empire, dealing with when you look at the American architecture, it's the same as the Greek and Roman architecture. It's the same. America is that Greco-Roman Empire. I guess in the kingdom we'll be saying that Greco-Roman American Empire. But it reads, and they worship the dragon. So like it reads verse 3, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast. And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. The dragon was the Roman Empire. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth, speaking great things and blasphemy. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months. America, Babylon the Great. And the wound of that was the Roman Empire wounded when the Western Roman Empire went down. It reads, verse 5, and there was given unto him a mouth, speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and power was given to him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. That goes into the Job 9:24. Right? The earth was given to the hand of wicked. So I just want to make this point. This devil talking about his victory, America's victories. Right? When you go back to Daniel 7, Daniel 7:19, it reads, Then would I know the truth of the fourth beast, which is diverse from all the others, exceedingly dreadful, whose teeth were of a lion, and his nails of brass, which devoured, brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell. These 3 that fell was French, Spanish, and the British. Even of their horn that had eyes, and a mouth that spake very great things. That's America. Whose look was more stout than his fellows. So here it is, Trump is boasting that they destroyed their fellows, which is still America allies. Because when you read in which I went to, let's go back to it. In World War II, right? Great Britain was an ally and still is, right? China is an ally now. Germany, because when you go back to World War I, it got Australia, Hungary, right? It's a British Empire, Russian, Italy. Italy is a part of the EU and NATO, right? Japan. So here it is. I just want to show this point. This man is boasting. He's boasting, man. This is America. Going back to Daniel's. This is America boasting, man, in their victories. Whose look was more stout than his fellows. See? America, Babylon the Great is boasting. But here it is, Iran said they ain't going, man. And I want to go back to this again. And let's go back to this one. Because right here say
دشمن ما اون دشمنی که در
most
مقابل ما
despised
قرار داره
regime
یعنی
tunt
رژیم
at
صهیونی
Netanyahu. Let's go back to it.
منفورترین رژیم دنیاست منفورترین حکومت دنیاست ملت ها هم از حکومت صهیونی
Netanyahu, man. Netanyahu.
دشمن ما اون دشمنی که در مقابل ما قرار داره یعنی رژیم صهیونی منفورترین رژیم دنیاست منفورترین حکومت دنیاست ملت ها هم از حکومت صهیونی منزجرن از اون متنفرن دولت ها هم حتی اونو محکوم میکنن دولت ها هم این حکومت صهیونی رو محکوم میکنن یعنی شما ببینید رؤسای دولت های غربی که همیشه حامی رژیم صهیونی
See, he mentioned the heads. Look at how the heads of Western governments who always supported the Zionist regime. He mentioned it in the heads, man. See, this is that taunting proverb in Habakkuk 2. Oh, what is that? Let me go to this. In Habakkuk 3. Let's get this. Habakkuk 3 in verse 13, thou wentest forth for the salvation of thy people, even for the salvation with thine anointed. Thou woundest the head out of the house of the wicked by discovering the foundation unto the neck. See, and the Lord has made the so-called white man bear. The elites. Starting with the elites. The Lord is making them bear, man.
این کمه محکومیت زبانی فایده ای نداره جنایتی که امروز رؤسای حکومت صهیونی دارن انجام میدن به گمان من در تاریخ بی سابقه است کودکان رو با گرسنگی و تشنگی بکشن کودکان رو با تشنگی و گرسنگی به قتل برسون کودکانی که برای گرفتن غذا به جای آمدن اینها رو به رگبار ببندن این در دنیا تا اونجایی بنده اطلاع دارم از تاریخ چیز بی سابقه است این ملت ها رو منزجر کرده باید در مقابل این ایستادگی هم به زبان نیست که دولت ها بگن که ما مخالفیم محکوم میکنیم حتی دولت فرانسه دولت انگلیس و دیگران هم محکوم کردن این فایده ای نداره بایستی راه کمک رسوندن به رژیم صهیونیستی بسته بشه راه کمک به اونها بسته بشه این کاری که امروز مردم شجاع یمن انجام میدن کار درست اونه در مقابل جنایتی که سران رژیم صهیونی انجام میدن هیچ راهی وجود ندارد جز اینکه راههای کمک به اونها به کلی از همه طرف مسدود بشه ما البته آمادگی کامل برای هر کاری که دولت دشمن ما
We watching it all play out. I want to look for that headline, but it won't pop up. Right here, look at this. It say this leader of Iran issues big dare to Trump, cites great insult. He shuts doors on talks with U.S. See? Iran ready. Iran, Russia, China unite. Israel concerned. And you should be. It's prophecy. I just want to get this one. This is Micah. Micah 2, right here. Micah 2. This is cold, man. The Lord is beautiful. This is Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity, and were evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands, which is the elites. Because we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. The elites controls all this, man. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Therefore thus saith Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil. Which is the point I want to make. The Lord is devising the evil against this family, who? The Edomites. Starting with the elites, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. See, like I read in Habakkuk 3, it said the Lord is discovering the foundation of the elites up to their necks. Neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. In that day, here's the point I want to make. In that day shall one take up a parable against you. Who? This family. And lament with the doleful lamentation, and say, we be utterly spoiled. He have changed the portion of my people. How have he removed it far from me? Turning away, he had divided our fields. Therefore thou shalt have none that shall cast a cord by lot in the congregation of Yahweh. See, it say, therefore thou shalt have none that shall cast a cord by lot in the congregation of Yahweh. Because they tell you in was that Revelation 11 that the heathen's gonna be outside the temple, man. So you ain't gonna have nothing to do with the portion of the Lord in his land. Because you there now, man. And as it tell you in Isaiah 26:10, let favor be shown. Let's go here. One more. Habakkuk 2:6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that laden himself with thick clay, which is his debt. America is ruling the earth. America, Babylon the Great, is controlling the world through debt, man. But the point I want to make right here says, shall not all these take up a parable against him? Why? Verse 5, yeah. Also because he transgressed by wine, his philosophies, his policies, his legislation, his democracy, his draconian measures. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. The next verse tell you, who enlargeth his desire as hell. Like I said in Micah 2, they covet fields and take them by violence. And is as death and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And this is why I tell you in Jeremiah 51, this nigga gathering everybody to himself. Jeremiah 51:7, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore the nations are mad. And here it is. Iran is pissed off. As other countries, man. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone to his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up to the skies. And as I was telling this Edomite the other week, because he was asking me, what do I think about what's going on with Putin and Trump? I said, man, America gonna be left alone, man. Hey, America, they had that stout look. Hey, you gonna be left alone with that same look. Obadiah 1:7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. So America, Babylon the Great, is going to be left with that same stout look, man, that you had against your fellows. Revelation 17 and 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked. Because when you read Habakkuk 2, it say you put the bottle to them and made them naked. So they're going to do America the same way. And shall make her naked and desolate, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For God hath put in his heart to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled, which is the elect. Once the elect gets sealed, it's over, man. I want to go to this because it said, they shall make America desolate and naked. In Habakkuk 2, in verse 15, it reads, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, to do what? And makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Thou art filled with shameful glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spirit shall be on thy glory. So what the Lord is doing now is making America bare. Jeremiah 49 and 10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places. See, we're watching this happen, man. We're watching the so-called white man's secret places be uncovered. Because they tell you in Proverbs, let's get this. Proverbs 26 and 24 reads, he that hateth dissimilar with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fair, believe him not. Why? For there are 7 abominations in his heart, meaning their mind is completely wicked. The Lord made the so-called white man to be completely wicked. He was only born to fulfill prophecy. Whose hatred is covered by deceit. Here we go, and it said the Lord made him bare. He shall uncover his secret places. Proverbs 26 and 26. Whose hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. Hey, and that's why I tell you Revelation 18, when they see the smoke of America burning, the America's wickedness is being showed before the whole world, man. Through the unicorn, the World Wide Web, man. Hey, and this man look is more stout than his fellows, man. Trump is boasting in how America had many victories, man. And allegedly it did. How was it started, though? Well, you go to this. I had to just go to Google. This guy here. World War I kicked off from this guy here. Kaiser Wilhelm II was the official leader of Germany during World War I, serving as the German emperor and king of Prussia from 1888 to 1918. However, by 1916, a de facto military dictatorship led by Generals Paul von Hindenburg and Erich Ludendorff, however you pronounce it, effectively took control of the country's war effort and domestic policies. Yeah, this guy here, man, which is an Edomite. It's an Edomite, the point I'm making. Edomite, man. So, America, Babylon the Great, talking all this trash. Rapping ass nigga talking all that trash. This is Ecclesiastes, Ezekiel, Salakia, 28. Who's going to destroy America? The Russians, man. The Medes and China are going to fall in line too. And they said in Obadiah 1, all the men of that confederacy have brought thee to the border. So real quick, this is Ezekiel 28 and 7. Let's read 3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. And this is the Esau, Edom, and so-called white man putting cameras all around America, man, just like China. With thy wisdom and with thy understanding, that has gotten thee riches. Hey, with his technology, he can watch you, man. Right? With thy wisdom and with thy understanding, that has gotten thee riches. Right? The Lord gave them a portion to create a wisdom to create the missiles, put a GPS on them so they can hit ground zero. Right? Every missile got a GPS coordinate. The Lord created him, a so-called white man, so he'll create the mark of the beast, the RFID micro seal, right? Set up the infrastructure, right? This is his wisdom. That's how his wisdom go, man. The Lord gave him wisdom to create the missiles, to first get the atom, split the atom, right? Create nuclear capability. Now they got intercontinental ballistic missiles. Put a GPS system on them. Create the mark of the beast, right? That's it. And destroy the earth, man. Destroy the earth through rape, rob, murder, pillaging, and plundering, man. His curriculum, what he say in Wisdom 7:2, let his strength be the law of justice. With thy wisdom and with thy understanding has thou gotten thee riches, and has gotten gold and silver into thy treasures, because America has stole everything, man. The Edomites, starting with the elites, they ain't work hard for nothing, man. Verse 5 reads, by thy great wisdom, which have been lifted up to the skies now, his technology, and by thy traffic has thou increased thy riches. And they traffic drugs, people, guns, organs, everything, man. You name it, he's trafficking it. In America, Babylon the Great. All the ports. There's a lot of ports on America, man. Every state that's by the waters got a port, man. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic has I increased thy riches. People, guns, and drugs, man. And thy heart is lifted up. Oh, people, guns, drugs, and food. Yeah, people. He trafficked people, guns, drugs, and food. And thy heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh God, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of God, behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations. Who is the terrible of the nations? The Russians. And they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom. So they got their intercontinental ballistic missiles against your wisdom, against America's wisdom. America don't got no wisdom. The Lord says that no more in Jeremiah 49. It reads, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. Right? When you go back to Jeremiah, let's go back here. Show you they don't got no wisdom, man. This is the Lord taunting you devils. Jeremiah 49:7. Concerning Edom, which is the Edomites, the so-called white race. Starting with the elites. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? So here's the Lord showing you. In verse 8 say, flee ye. Why? Because you don't got no wisdom. Flee ye, turn back, and dwell deep. Well, go hide, O inhabitants of the Dan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. See, there's no way you can hide from the Lord, man. But go and try to hide. Amos 9, when you read Amos 9:1, 1-3, they're going to try to hide in their bunkers, in the mountains. They're going to take their $1 billion sub yachts and go into the ocean, right? Some of them slow bellies going to go up to the space station because the living quarters up there. A lot of living quarters. It's like a Hilton up there or a Marriott. They're going to try to go and hide, man. But the Lord said this. This is Isaiah 24:16. It reads, from the uttermost part of the earth have we heard songs. Well, over here in America, this is the uttermost part of the earth. Even glory to the righteous. But I said, my leanness, woe unto me, the treacherous dealers have dealt treacherously. Yeah, the treacherous dealers have dealt very treacherously. Fear and the pit and the snare and upon thee, O inhabitants of the earth. What? What's upon the inhabitants of the earth? Fear and the pit and the snare. See? And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit. Your bunkers is going to be your holding cells till Yahweh shall return. And he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare. They tell you that in Psalm 149. We're going to put them in chains for the windows from on high open, because the missile's going to drop through. And the foundations of the earth do shake, which is going to be America. America is going to shake. The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. Yeah. So what's for the so-called white man elites? From the utmost part of the earth have we heard songs, even glory to the righteous. But I said, my leanness, woe unto me. The treacherous dealers have dealt treacherously. Yeah, the treacherous dealers have dealt very treacherously. So because of it, verse 17, fear in the pit and the snare and upon thee, O inhabitants of the earth. Yeah, man. So first it's this taunting proverb against the king of Babylon. And it tell you in Jeremiah that the king of Babylon have heard this report. Jeremiah 50 and 43. The king of Babylon have heard the report of them. Yeah. The prophets is telling you your downfall. And his hands waxed feeble. Anguish took hold on him as pains of a woman in travail. When you go to Job, let me get this. First is this one, Job 15 and 21. A dreadful sound is in his ears. In prosperity, the destroyer shall come upon him. Who is the destroyer? Yahweh Shai. He believeth not that he shall return out of darkness. What the Lord say? He's going to make them bare and uncover their secret places. See? But they believe he believeth not that he shall return out of darkness, and he is waited for of the sword. A sword is waiting on you Edomites, man. Start with the elites. I want to get this in the Job, though. Because who shall declare his way to his face, right? It say the dreadful sound is in his ears, and he have heard the report of them. How do the elites hear the report? From the prophets. Job 21 and verse 29. It reads, now let's read 27. Behold, I know your thoughts and the devices which ye wrongfully imagine against me. And that's why we tell you all constantly, 2 Corinthians 2 and 11, we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. Behold, I know your thoughts and the devices which you wrongfully imagine against me. For ye say, where is the house of the prince? And where are the dwelling places of the wicked? We know where you at. Have you not asked them that go by the way? The prophets. And do you not know their tokens? Yeah, because the prophets are telling you the tokens of the so-called white man, his wickedness. That the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction. They shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. Who shall declare his way to his face? The prophets. Who shall repay him what he have done? Yahweh Shai is, man. Hey, so we watching these nations send out a taunting proverb against America, Babylon the Great, for them being stout against their fellows. The Lord was edifying. We give our praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rikah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishop and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the Akim believing this truth and pushing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth. The entire world shed light to the whole elect. Shalom to the Akwas well listen learning. If you well listen learning throughout tuning in, may Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai continue bless